Hi, I'm Brian, and today we'll be talking about the ACCA paper F5, March-June 2017 past year paper. We'll be looking at question 32 in section C, and we'll be looking at requirement B. So let's just read the question prompt first. Using all of the information provided, including the People's Bank's vision and values, you need to talk about this in your answer. Discuss. Now first, let's talk about this verb over here, which is discuss. Discuss means the information will all be provided to you and you are supposed to talk about it, basically link information within the question. Okay, and here they have said use each of the 4 headings of the balance scorecard to discuss the performance of the People's Bank. Now the 4 headings of the balance scorecard are already given to you in the question. That makes your life a little easier. They're over here, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this video, we're only going to be talking about the financial perspective first. Okay, so let's pay attention to the financial perspective. You have 4 different performance measures over here, and we'll talk about each one of them in turn. The first one is the ROCE, which is over here. You have 11%, 12%. Now when it comes to answering questions like this, you should state the obvious. Look at the number, tell me what's obvious. The obvious is 11% is smaller than 12%. So what happens is, as far as ROCE is concerned, the People's Bank has not met its ROCE target. State the obvious first, it's worth some marks. Then we talk about the possible reasons why. Now the reason why could be from here. The People's Bank has recently invested heavily. When they say invested heavily, they've spent some money in IT security and also to make services more accessible to disabled and visually impaired customers. So you can talk about this in your answer. So what I will write over here is they've spent a lot of money on social projects for the disabled and visually impaired. You can find some information over here. You see the number of community organizations supported is higher than target. You have the number of hours paid to support community projects is also higher than target, and cash points and wheelchair ramps are higher than target. So they must have spent some money to pay for all this, which is higher than target. So that affects your ROCE. The second thing, as we have mentioned, is they have spent money on an IT project for fraud prevention. So all this would reduce your ROCE. The next item that we have is the interest income, which is over here. Again, stating the obvious, the People's Bank has exceeded its target. 7.5 million is larger than 7 million. The reason why could be from the net interest margin over here. As you can see, the net interest margin offered by the People's Bank is 2.5%, and here it is 2.4%, sorry, and the target is 2.5%. So that means the loans from the People's Bank are cheaper than expected. So that could lead to higher demand, cheaper loans, more people want to borrow. So that might have led to flexible demand and you have a higher interest income. So we can link that to the next KPI, which is the net interest margin. Again, stating the obvious, the People's Bank has not met its target. Reason why is because they have decided to offer lower interest rates compared to the competition, and this is linked to the interest income over here. So lower rates, higher demand, higher interest income. The last and final KPI is the amount of new lending to SMEs. Now if you look at this, the People's Bank has not met its target. 135 million is less than 150 million. So this kind of means that they did not satisfy their vision here, which is, or their purpose here, which is to help people and businesses of Nakre live better lives. So, and here, by supporting small and medium-sized businesses. So they have not exactly met this target. The reason why could be possibly due to insufficient personnel to provide advice to SME. Where do we find this? We find this under here. Number of colleagues trained to provide advice to SME. Because we don't have enough people trained to provide, that's why their loans may have been rejected, or something like that. Another potential reason which you can just mention as a general idea is potential market conditions. Maybe market conditions are not good and the People's Bank need to preserve capital, or the risk profile of their clients is higher, but you just general market conditions might have led to less lending to the SME. So what's our conclusion for the financial perspective? Our conclusion is overall it is a mixed set of results from the People's Bank. Okay, you have ROCE, which is no target, interest exceeded, net margin no target, SME no target. So only this one has exceeded its target. Okay, so that's for the financial perspective. We'll be seeing the rest of the perspectives in other videos, which you probably can click on your screen. Thank you very much.